When two photographers set out to document the ethnic communities of New South Wales, they were told by some it couldn't be done because of the huge diversity of the state's multicultural population. Well, 180 communities later, John Immig and Louise Whelan have produced an incredible photographic snapshot of a culturally rich state. It's a body of work now held by the State Library, and this week it went on public display at Parliament House in Macquarie Street. Sharon O'Neill produced this preview.
The library is in the business of documenting the lives of the people of New South Wales, and of course photographs are an excellent way to do that. 2 years ago, John approached me with a project to record all the ethnic and refugee groups in New South Wales, and I just went, wow, that'd be great.
The plan was to first of all find out how many people there were, how many ethnic communities. We found out there were about 150.
As a social documentary photographer, it was almost like a dream come true, really, because it was such a wide scope, and the fact that we wanted to document people in their home going about their everyday business, that part really attracted me.
Before you take the photographs, you spend a lot of time approaching people, emailing people, talking to them. You've got to win their trust. If they don't like you, you don't take photographs. So it's got to be a mutual understanding, and then it happens.
It's so difficult to get images of people inside their homes. I mean, your next door neighbour, you probably don't know what their bedroom looks like. It's just one of those things. We don't tend to let people into our homes. And these photographers have managed to get that access.
There's one group I photographed which was some ethnic Russians from China. So I think that this couple had been in Australia probably since the late 40s or early 50s. They just took me through the house and they stood quite proudly, and they said, "This is this room, and come into the bedroom." So it was a beautiful shot. So they said, "This is what a traditional ethnic Russian bedroom would look like." I
photographed some people at the Jewish Museum, and survivors they call them. That was quite something. These people were 90 or 95. They'd come out of the camps. They were working as guides at the museum. You heard really horrible stories from them. I felt they were the ultimate refugee. And then, of course, you realise that there are many more. There are now people coming from overseas who are also war refugees.
I spent the day with one family who live in Toongabbie. So I think there were 6 children in the family, and I arrived and we went shopping into St Mary's and bought sort of their traditional food and a mixture of other food, and went home and cooked it. And Dad went outside barbecuing, and the kids are outside on the trampolines and in the backyard, and there's just, an old Hills hoist there. So there's, stuff that we relate to in terms of, traditional sort of Australia. But, with these beautiful sort of African faces and, backyard barbecues.
It's very important we have these snapshots so that it enables people in the future to see what we were like. It's only when you have a series of snapshots over a long period of time do you get to understand change. These are photographs taken by Max Dupain of Sydney 70 or 80 years ago. And how different is it?
Faces.
Faces are very different, aren't
Faces have changed to dresses.
Absolutely.
Where is that?
That's at Manly. That's the old Shark Tower. I'm used to looking at photographs from the past, and I just see the difference immediately. So many Asian and African faces you never saw before.
This documentation is really important in terms of cutting through what the public perception of multicultural Australia is, because we seem to have lots of fear-based media in terms of when people relate to refugees, they think of boat people. whereas these images give an intimate portrayal of what Australia is.
This is a multicultural place. 1/4 of the population in New South Wales are born overseas. So basically this is a changing place. Food's much better, people are much nicer. It's much more vibrant and alive, and it's beautiful.
Wonderful images, and the exhibition runs in State Parliament until July the 27th.